Alright everyone, welcome back to the Anything and Everything podcast, episode 52. Finally, the actual legitimate episode 52, because I now have my shit back up and working. And if you see me squinting at any point during this particular episode, it's because I'm staring into a very bright light that is directly in front of my face, so that hopefully I'm at least somewhat well lit. I realize it's not the best lighting because, as you can see behind me here, there's a very big shadow. It's the best lighting I have, okay? Literally the best lighting I ever have in this room, because I do not have an overhead light in my room. I'm going to be seeing spots after I get done with this. That is a bright fucking light. So to start off this episode, I thought I would go over just a little bit, just briefly, and this is going to be a bit late, but whatever. Once again, Roseanne Barr. Because this time it's just more hilarious than anything. Of course, we all know about the whole tweet thing, because I covered that as well, and everyone knows it. Roseanne Barr put out some videos on her own personal YouTube channel, which I did not know she even had. Interesting. What was it? I believe this was July the 20th, a couple of weeks ago, which were supposedly supposed to be her official statements on the whole things. I'm using official in air quotes because it's not very official or professional, because the first video they uploaded, I kind of suspect whoever the people are helping her out with her YouTube stuff uploaded the first video without telling her, so she didn't know they uploaded it, because I don't think that she would have let them upload that. Otherwise, she just doesn't give a shit. But it's the video where they're asking her or trying to talk to her about whatever the hell they're trying to talk about. Something about politics or something, I think is what they were supposedly talking about. She gets fed up to the point where she just loses her absolute shit, as in the angriest I've ever seen anyone on YouTube ever get, period. And she just goes, "I thought the bitch was white! God damn it!" Just like that. And I'll try to sync that up as best as I can. And the reason I bring this up is, one, because it's just fucking hilarious. And it's still funny, despite the fact that I was originally going to do this, what was it, fucking 2 weeks ago. But it's still funny. It's still hilarious. Mostly because that's the stupidest excuse I've ever heard in my life. Which, of course, obviously didn't help the woman at all. As a matter of fact, it probably made shit worse. Because now they're just going to think she's some crazy old lady. And I'm quite sure she's seen all the feedback on that. She knows it exists. She knows it's up there. And now people just think she's some crazy old lady. So I don't know why they put that up there. Unless the two dipshits behind the camera, whom are probably the people helping her do this, are also the editors, so they cut this out and just put it up by itself because they thought it was funny, which at this point isn't even a bad thing, because I doubt that there's very little or really anything she or anyone who works with her can do to save her ass. There's very little you can do to come back from racism. I think old Roseanne Barr's just fucked herself for the rest of her life. I just want to know why Roseanne Barr seems to hate Valerie Jarrett so much. Why does she seem to hate Valerie Jarrett so much? I don't know. I actually had to look up the name Valerie Jarrett to figure out who the hell that even was. I had no idea who she was. She was apparently some sort of aide for Obama when he was president. Unless it comes down to strictly the fact that she doesn't like Valerie Jarrett because Valerie Jarrett is apparently a Democrat, which is probably even a worse reason to hate somebody, which, in my opinion, she probably doesn't. You don't hate the person, you hate the political party. That just shows you what politics can do to a person. So I turned off the annoyingly bright light that was in my face, because I thought it made it look weird in here. I thought it made everything look like the lights were off in here, which they weren't. It was just the fact that the light I had on was brighter than all the other lights. So I didn't like the way it looked, so I changed it, turned it off. So back to natural lighting. I really do need to get a lighting kit of some kind. So, moving on to some more sciencey stuff, which I'm thinking of doing more of, because I like sciencey stuff, and I want to do more sciencey topics. So I think it's interesting, but I don't know if you all think it's interesting. I'm sure some of you out there think it's interesting, so I'm going to do them. So, I have a few that I want to go through. So, the first one, and these are all ones I was going to use in what was going to be last week's episode, but the first one I have is, I believe it was a couple of weeks ago, I believe a team of Russian and South Korean scientists managed to revive or resurrect or bring back to life, whatever the fuck you want to, however you want to say it, a pair of 2 female nematodes. Yes, nematodes. Because nematodes are actual creatures. They're actual organisms. They're not just from SpongeBob. They're real things. Look them up. And they were 2 female nematodes that had apparently been frozen in ice or permafrost or something like that. I believe somewhere in Siberia, I think is where they found them. But I can't exactly remember because it's been a couple of weeks since I've seen the actual article. But they managed to bring them back to life. Or as of me reading the article, they had brought them back to life. I don't know if they're still alive. These 2 female nematodes were the 2 oldest living animals on the planet, according to the article. Because these 2 nematodes were both apparently like 10,000 years old. I kind of figured if they ever found out what the oldest animal on Earth was, I figured it was going to be some sort of bacteria. Because bacteria can survive much, much, much harsher conditions than most other animals can. But I don't know if you can really say they're dead because they were technically frozen. So technically they weren't dead, I guess. They were just frozen. Like, not cryogenically frozen, but sort of the same thing. But I guess you could technically say they were dead because they revived them. But we're not getting into all that shit. I just thought that was interesting, especially because they said those were the 2 oldest living organisms on Earth. 2 female nematodes that are 10,000 years old. Holy shit. I'd be interested to figure out how they brought them back to life, though. That'd be interesting to find out. Like, what did they do to bring them back to life? So, the second one I wanted to talk about, this is also, like, 2 or so weeks old, because this is all stuff I'm rehashing from the episode I had filmed last week. So, I believe this was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm not exactly sure. They found a lake, a legitimate liquid lake on Mars. Of course it's Mars, the planet we will all be living on in the next 300 years. So it'll be like a real life version of the video game Red Faction's Guerrilla. If anyone actually remembers that game. I remember seeing a commercial for that video game, by the way. And by the way, I'm looking up everything. I'm looking up all of the sciencey stuff I'm talking about on this little notepad I have here. And the article was saying that this is like a possibly legit salty ocean, as in an ocean similar to what we have here on Earth. But I will probably be dead before they actually have the technology to do that. Like you see all these documentaries and shit about people living on Mars in the next 300 years. I'm actually starting to think that's going to be a viable option. Once the planet Earth, we either kill planet Earth all entirely, we just overpopulate and there's no more fucking room. Which is terrifying, but at least I'll be dead, so I won't have to see it. So the third one I wanted to share also involves a new planet. Scientists also discovered a new planet, which they claim has a high possibility for alien life.
Aliens, man! Aliens, man!
Planet Kepler 1652b. They also said planet 1652b would also be a good candidate for not only alien life, but possible human habitability. Fuck, can't say that word. The type of atmosphere has a high possibility for possible. This is all possible. They're not saying we could be living on some distant fucking planet in 300 years, but possibly. So I just thought that these headlines were interesting. You can go check them out for yourselves. Just type all that stuff in, and you'll find it. So the next topic I wanted to do is a bit more of a nostalgic topic, but sort of. I'm tying two topics into each other, so I've recently gotten into a new type of YouTube video. I've gotten into like PC build videos, tech videos. I'll just say more like stuff like Linus Tech Tips, Jay's 2 cents, all those PC build and PC review and tech review and tech centered channels, things like those. And I came across some videos I'd say they triggered the nostalgia, especially those videos where people try to rebuild their old computers, which I had quite a few of. Most of them were laptops, but I had a couple of desktops. So I went looking, and I think, but I'm not sure because I never looked at the name of the particular computer we had. But back when I was around 6-7 years old, we bought this gigantic family computer. I believe it was a Dell Dimension 4600. I think it was something like that. Now, here's a picture of it on screen now, and I don't know if that's the correct computer, but I don't know what kind of computer it was, but it looked like this one. So I think it was this one, but I don't fucking know. That was fucking like 15 years ago. So I can't remember a goddamn thing from 15 years ago. I just know it looked like that. And apparently though, back then those were apparently very high-end desktops. Of course, I should realize that one because my parents told me they said they think they spent like $1,500 to like $2,000 something on this computer. So apparently it was like a super high-end like computer back then, if I can find it. But all I really remember is the screen where you would select your user and sign in, and you could like pick certain pictures you could have certain like user pictures like a dog, a flower, shit like that. And see, this was 2001, 2002. So this was still around the time that we didn't have all this fancy cabling and Wi-Fi and all this crazy shit we do now. So back then, when you logged into a computer and connected, it would sound like this. Yes, I'm talking about dial-up. That's the exact fucking tone that would play whenever you would sign in. And then I think we ended up having fucking what was after fucking dial-up? What was the one after dial-up? Fucking broadband, I think is what we had next. I think we ended up getting broadband. I don't fucking remember. I just know when you logged in, the tone sounded like this. That's what the tone sounded like. Which I know people are going to be shocked. Oh my God. I'm still old enough to remember what a fucking dial-up tone sounds like. And that's very weird. It's very weird what I end up remembering. But I remember that tone real well. I think it had Windows XP. I think I even remember playing some computer games on it. I think I got a box of cereal that had a little offer in it, and then I got like a copy of some Lord of the Rings game, circa 2001, 2002, 2003, and I think it ran pretty well, but I can't remember. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to find the actual game to show you a picture or a screenshot if I can find it, but I'll figure it out. I'll find it in post. And then I also remember playing this weirdly violent game where you could kill aliens. It was like a top-down shooter type of game. And I remember you could make the blood either green or red. And my parents caught us sitting there playing it once, and they were like, "What in the world are y'all playing?" They didn't really want us playing super violent stuff back then. Perhaps, and we probably shouldn't have been playing a game where you could literally blow apart aliens and shitty 2D green and blue, or fucking green and red blood. I just remember the game being bloody, and my parents getting mad at us for playing it, so they wouldn't let us play it no more. I will say this. So I don't know how good Dells are now. I don't know how good Dells are now. I don't know if they're good computers, but back then, I'll say this: that fucking Dell desktop, that big motherfucker lasted forever. We had that big ass desktop and the giant fucking monitor. Oh God, 5 years, and then I think it eventually broke because my brother proceeded to put coins in it. I don't know why he put coins in a computer, because that's back when the computer monitors back then had little slits in it to let the air out. So he would go like, he would drop coins in the little slits in the computer, in the monitor, therefore rendering it unusable because now there's metal in the computer, so that's a fire hazard waiting to happen. I don't know why he put coins in our $2,000-something computer. I think maybe because he thought it was a coin slot machine or something. But it's not that bad because my brother was like 6 years old, so he didn't know no better. Of course, this is also the same brother of mine who apparently put water in one of the SUVs that my parents owned, also rendering it unusable. Yeah, my younger brother he had a habit of taking shit apart and messing with shit to see what it would do. Maybe that's why. I can see why the boy wants to go into cybersecurity. Yeah, like legit. Apparently, my brother has told me he wants to go into cybersecurity. And I told him, damn, that's a good area to start working in. That boy's gonna get all kinds of money. Jesus, that boy's gonna be fucking wealthy, dude. My brother's gonna be more wealthy than I am. Those guys get paid a good amount of money, by the way. My 20-year-old brother really does know his computer stuff. He can do shit. My 20-year-old brother can do shit to a computer that I don't even know how the fuck to even start. I had to get my brother to put together my custom-built PC because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Then I've only had laptops up until I built my own custom PC last year, which is what I do everything on. Although I do have to update a lot of my components. A lot of the stuff in my computer is like, it's getting 4, 5, 6 years old, so I think it's about time for an upgrade. Which thankfully isn't going to cost too much. I don't really have to upgrade that much. So yeah. Anyone remember Windows Vista? I had a Windows Vista laptop. That was a good laptop. It wasn't a big brand laptop either, I don't think. I need to find that laptop. Wonder if I can get the hard drive out. Then I had I believe it was an Acer brand laptop that I had to get the screen repaired on because I broke the screen because I was watching some unmentionable internet content. Come on. Don't make fun of me. You all watch it too. We all watch that shit on the internet. Come on. You know you did it. Don't lie to me. Actually, you're lying to yourselves, but stop lying. You did it too.
We're all fucking filthy fuck.
Man, even that one lasted until like, I had that one from like 2010 to like 2014. I looked for the piece of electronic equipment within my budget that has the highest rating. So I go for ratings instead of anything else. So I hope you all enjoyed that little nostalgic trip of me talking about all of my past laptops and computers and shit. But like I said, that ties in with the topic I was doing. I like technology because I'm a fucking nerd. Hang on, I got something better than that. This is more fitting.
Nerd alert!
But seriously, I think that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. So you guys on SoundCloud can favorite the track, comment on the track, whatever you want to do. And you guys on YouTube can thumbs up the episode, thumbs down the episode, comment on the episode, whatever you want to do. And I'll see you guys in in next week's episode.